So let me ask you, do you remember your first song?
Do I? Yes.
And how did that come about? How did you make your first song?
Okay, my first ever song.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to have like a PC at home.
Yeah.
And at the time, my parents used to always keep the PC in their room because we weren't, it was just like a parental thing. So computer stays in there, the PC stays in their room. So in order for us to go on the computer, we just have to be in their room. Yeah. So I downloaded like Fruity Loops on the computer, and I had my guitar as well, so I would just like play my guitar into the microphone and record in their bedroom whenever they weren't in the room. So like my mom would be in the kitchen cooking or something, or they would be at work, and I would be in their room like cooking up music.
Oh, it
in
became
their room.
The studio.
It became the studio. Their bedroom became a studio. So I wrote my first song in their bedroom. It was called Hold Up, and I think it's still in my notes somewhere. Maybe on my iCloud. I don't know. I kind of don't want to listen to it either. So.
Oh, you cringe when you hear your old music?
I definitely cringe when I hear it, but I still have it just as like a reference.
Yeah.
You know, if I ever want to go back and listen to it, but I don't. But I still have it. But I definitely still have it.
I think it's still a good thing. Like when you go back and you hear something. I honestly did that today because I was talking to someone and we were just talking about music, and they were just like, "Oh, I still like that old song that you made back when you was putting it on SoundCloud."
Right.
And I'm like,
you're like, you still listen to
that? That's still there? So I was driving and I was just like, let me see if I can find it. And I'm like, and back then I went by a completely different alias. So I was like, let me see if I can find it. And I found it and I played it. And I'm like, Like, I was like, of course the mixing was trash.
It's not that bad.
The mixing was trash. I will say that. It was bad mixing, in which back then I wasn't aware of the process of finding a studio and the mixing and stuff like that. It was just, hey, let's record.
Yeah, if it sounds good, it sounds good.
Yeah, if it sounds good to me. At that time, you're hearing yourself for the first time, so it's like, oh, yeah, this is fire. And it's till you let somebody else hear it, and they're like, so you're going to get this mixed? And you like, I thought
what?
This is not mixed? No? All right. So, yeah, but from listening to that song, I was like, oh, no, I always could write. Like, that was always the thing. It was the mixing part that was a process. So, like, what was your process as far as, like, finding your studio where you're like, this is home base? I know it started off in your parents' room, but I know that ain't where it ended. It went somewhere else. So, what was that process for you?
No, I went through a process of kind of, like, studio hopping to find a home. I used to drive to Orlando a lot to Track Set Studios. Shout out to them. I'm not sure if they're still, there. Yeah. I haven't been there in a very long time. And then I found my home at Leak House.
Okay. Shout out to Leak House.
Shout out to Leak House. And it's just, it just became my home. Like, I felt really comfortable recording there. The quality was amazing. Everything was just like top tier for me, and it just felt I was comfortable there. So I would drive down there back and forth, but that drive was really killer on me. So I got my own setup at home. So now I record myself at home.
Okay.
Yes.
Shout out to you.
When I'm not, recording in studios or camps or out of town or stuff like that. So I have my own setup at home. So that's my home.
So is that your preference? Like, when it comes to, like, if you had to choose from recording in a studio, right? In a big studio or recording at home, what would be your preference?
Recording at home.
Okay, so what's the reason?
Studios give me anxiety. And it's like, it's just so many distractions, so much unnecessary stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find comfort in a home setup, a home studio. Like, I'd rather set something up in an Airbnb in a kitchen or something than to be in a booth in a studio. Yeah. No shade to the studios or people who prefer that, but that's just not my preference. I find it's just more comfortable. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get it. So it's just more comfortable for me. I don't know. That's just me.
That's how I found myself as far as an artist. Like, going into the studios, I've had plenty of horrible stories. Going to different studios and trying to record.
People coming in and out. And
what's yours? Sometimes... Let me hear your worst studio story. Let me hear that one.
My worst story. Okay, so I'm not gonna name drop nobody. But this was the last session I ever had in the studio. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. granted, I was being done a favor, but still, it was like my time was completely wasted. So I had a session scheduled for sometime in the early day. I can't exactly remember because, like I said, it's been a while since I recorded in the studio since then, and that's the reason. So I had an early session, drove 2+ hours for this session. We already spoke about the day, planned it out, blocked out the day for me, specifically, me and this engineer, right? So we're recording. People are coming in and out of the room. He has to step out so many different times. Stop the process of recording. And it was just really annoying. Very annoying. People coming in and out and just like so many distractions. It's like, yeah, I didn't like it at all. I didn't get anything done that day. So it was really a pointless drive for me.
That's always the worst.
When I did finally start, the day was pretty much over and I was tired and it's dark out now and like I want to go home. Yeah. So that was my last in studio session. Ever since then, I've been recording at home or I'll record with my preferred engineer where we've agreed that this is my time. This is my blocked out time. Yeah. So I have my preferred engineers or I'll record myself. But yeah, that's my worst story. Because it's like, why am I here? Exactly. You know, we planned this out. You told me you were available and you're in and out and now you have to go run an errand and people are coming in and out the room. You have to leave. You have to step out. I don't want to touch the equipment. This is not my stuff. You know, I don't know what I'm doing because this is not my visual. This isn't my computer. You're right. So I don't want to touch anything. And that was annoying. Yeah, I can